Teşekkürler. Günaydın. Hello everyone, my name is Dan McDonnell, middle blocker.
My name is Nick Hoag, outside hitter.
And today we are here to answer your questions.
First question, can you tell us the funniest traits, characteristics of one another? For me, the funniest traits in Dan is that he always jokes around, but being serious at the same time, and on and off the court. And I love that about him, and that's why he's one of my good friends, and he's a pretty funny guy.
One of Nick's best traits is his dancing. Pre-game dancing, post-game dancing. So when you see him out in the streets, you got to ask him to show one of your dance moves.
That's what I'm known for, yeah.
If you had the chance to send a message to 10 years back, what would you say to your volleyball player self? This is a good question. I would tell myself to always stay positive, just keep grinding, and enjoy the experience a little bit more. Early on in my career, I was like, very result-oriented. I was always trying to perform, but I think I could have enjoyed the moment a little bit better. So those are a couple things I would have told myself.
It's a great answer, actually. Volleyball is a very technical sport, and it's very difficult, and it takes many, many years to perfect it. So not being discouraged is a big one, and watch more video as well on amazing players. There's amazing players to watch, and there's a lot of content to watch and to learn from. And I think that's one thing I could have done better when I was younger, and I think it would have helped me grow faster as a player. What would you have chosen as a profession if you hadn't been a volleyball player? It's a good question. I have no idea what I want to do. I'm a big lover of wine, so maybe work in restaurants in terms of sommelier and work in the wine business. For now, that's what I can think of on top of my head.
Before volleyball kind of took over my life, I was in school to be a doctor, so I guess I would have done that, but I still don't know what I want to do after volleyball, so like Nick said, kind of a tough question to answer. Dan, you look a lot like Paul Walker. Do you agree? I think Paul Walker looks a lot like me. Next question.
I have no idea who Paul Walker is. So. Next question. What should one do in order to jump and hit effectively? I think one of the key aspects of hitting is make sure you have a good approach and a high contact. For me, a key word is to always have the ball on top of my ear so I can have the highest contact possible. So if the set is a little bit short, I adjust my approach and then make sure that's kind of the key area where I want to hit the ball. After that, the contact and try to use peripheral vision to see the block and eventually the defense.
Those are all good points. I would add to try to hit the ball while you're on your way up in the jump. Not to jump, reach your peak on your descent, and then hit the ball. You'll be a lot more powerful, and your accuracy will be a lot better if you're hitting the ball on your way up to it. What is your favorite movie? My favorite movie is Dumb and Dumber. It is a comedy movie, came out in the 90s. If you don't know it, look up the trailer and watch it.
That is a great movie. For me, it's a movie called Friday Night Lights. It's a American football movie, and I like the story around the team and not necessarily the football aspect of it. There's a lot of life lessons and things you can pick up from the movie, and it's an emotional movie, and it's also a great it's an art, let's say. Where have you first started playing volleyball, and what was the name of the first club you played at? I started my career when I was 7 years old. I started playing volleyball when I was 7 years old. I was in Paris, France, and my first club was called Le Puc. It's short for Paris University Club. So I played there for 4 years, and then I went back to Canada, and that's kind of how my volleyball career started.
I first started playing volleyball in high school. I was 16. My high school was called Brophy. I played for the Brophy Broncos. Then I went on to university at the University of California, Irvine, and my first professional club was in Finland called Raisio Loimu. What is the most interesting thing on your bucket list? One of the places I've always wanted to go and I haven't been to is New Zealand. I'm really attracted to the outdoor nature of it, the mountains. They also have big cities, the sea. To me, that place has always been at the top of my bucket list because it has everything that I'm interested in visiting.
For me, it's not really a destination. It's more something I really want to do is paragliding. So it's kind of like running off a cliff, but
safely.
Exactly, safely. I took that from actually the movie that's called The Bucket List, and they do that in the movie, and it made me really want to do it. So we'll see if I get to do that one day. Hopefully.
After volleyball.
After volleyball. That's what I want to do in my life. Why Turkey? Good question. I played here last year. I knew that Fenerbahce was a big club and an ambitious club. This year I came back to Turkey because I like the country. I like the food, the culture. My family's here, so that was kind of a bonus for me to come here. And I knew Izmir, and the club was a really good club and professional. So for me, it was kind of an easy pick. So it was Turkey, but also Izmir more precisely.
I've had Turkey on my radar for a couple years now, always trying to find my way in. And when I had the opportunity to come here in Turkey, and especially for Arkas, I was really excited. So the club was an immediate attraction to me. The city is good, and also playing for Glen. Glen is a really good coach. I enjoyed playing for him. And so those are a couple reasons why I chose Turkey and then Arkas specifically. What does teamwork mean for you? That's a great example of teamwork. So besides kissing Nick's head, teamwork is to me just picking up your teammates when they need to be picked up. Supporting them in difficult times. So supporting your teammates in difficult times is important, but also allowing yourself to be supported by your teammates. It's kind of a give and take type of thing. So that's kind of one of the things that teamwork means to me.
For me, teamwork is very similar to what Dan said. If I miss an action in volleyball, I want trust in my friends or teammates that they will pick up why I missed. Like if I missed a reception, I'm confident that whoever is going to touch the ball next is going to make the great set. And if the set is missed, then the attacker is going to help the setter make the play. So for me, that's part of the teamwork. If I can trust my teammates to do that, then it's very easy to just play with them, and the team just plays better overall. Is there a memorable match that you have played with Arkas and you can't forget? So far this season, I think the most memorable match was the Cup game against Halkbank. We won 3-2. It was a really, really great game. A lot of fans, great energy, high-level volleyball, and despite being focused and really serious during the game, like the child in me had a lot of fun to play the game at that level. So that was my number one game so far.
That's a really good one. Also, the most recent match we played against Galatasaray has got to be at the top of the list because we came back in the second set down 24-19, I think. Ulash went on an incredible service run, got us back in the game, and we ended up winning 27-25.
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, doesn't happen very often in volleyball at all, coming back from being down 24-19, so super memorable match. And we ended up winning, so even more memorable.
Yeah, that's been
What was your position when you first started playing volleyball? When when I first started playing, I was a middle blocker. 15 years later, I'm still a middle blocker.
When I started playing in Paris, it was kind of strange because we started playing 2 against 2. So I didn't really have a position. I would just try to train all the skills of the game. And as I moved on, I actually started being a setter for the first, I think, 4 years of my career, I'd say. And then I switched to outside hitter because I wanted to be like my brother. Now I kind of want to be a setter again, but that's not going to happen. So I wish. Do you have a pre-match ritual for luck? Personally, I do not. I think for me, the best preparation is not to have a preparation before a game. So if there's a game where we only have 30 minutes to warm up instead of 50 minutes, then it won't play in my mind, and I just know I can warm up for 30 minutes and be ready to go. That's a personal preference. I'm not saying that's the way to go, but I've been doing that for the past 15 years, and that's kind of what I've been doing.
I definitely have a ritual, not necessarily for luck, but it's just nice to have a routine, personally. So I always start my pregame ritual with a nice coffee, sometimes a latte, sometimes a cappuccino. And then I like to do like a little meditation, you know, maybe 10 minutes, just close my eyes, visualize the game plan a little bit. What am I going to do against this guy? What am I going to do against this guy? But as far as like a ritual, that's about it. Coffee, meditation, good to go. What is your favorite book? Oof. I recently read through the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That was really good. Right now, I'm reading The Witcher. Those are good too. But if I have to say my favorite one, it'd have to be Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is really good, and I enjoyed reading it.
Personally, my favorite book is called Mindset. I read it when I was 19 years old. We actually read it with the national team all together, and it helped me actually change my mindset throughout my early years of volleyball, and I think that helped me develop myself much faster than if I read it now. It changed my mindset in general, and not just for volleyball, actually, just for life in general, for learning anything. I think it's Carol Decker or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that's my go-to book. Are you happy to be living in Izmir? Yes, I love the city. It's very, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of amazing restaurants. We're just by the water. The temperature is amazing. It's not cold basically ever, at least not for me. And yeah, I mean, again, my family is here, so I'm really happy to be there. My brother's going to be a father soon, so I'm going to be an uncle. That's a plus. And yeah, I mean, I love it here. I love to be in Izmir.
Yeah, Nick hit all the good points. Good food, good weather, a good like volleyball presence, a lot of good fans. And also I found that the people in Izmir have been really nice, very welcoming. All the guys on the team, all the people in the streets, all the shops I go to, everyone's been really nice. So a lot of good things are happening in Izmir.
A decent amount of people speak English, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
That's nice.
A lot of good point. What was the most challenging moment you have endured so far in your life? This is a heavy question.
Here we go.
Here we go. I think it would have to be getting the news that I needed shoulder surgery. And this is 2019, so later on in my career. And it was just a big blow, kind of a really big setback for me because I was doing really well, progressing really well in my career. So getting the surgery, taking a year off, taking almost 2 years to recover completely, pretty challenging, but I also learned a lot about myself, and I think ultimately I got better because of it.
Mine's not as heavy. I've been actually pretty lucky so far in terms of my life in general. In 2017, I got actually cut from the national team for World League for the whole duration of World League, or I think most of the weeks out of 5. I think I got cut for the 4 of them. And that was the first time I really got cut from anything, basically. And that was, again, a huge lesson. And I think if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have been the player that I am today. So I think if anything, it got me just better as a player. So I'm actually thankful for that. I don't take any spot for granted or anything on the national team or here or professionally. So yeah, that's the biggest setback I've had. How should our diet be in order to stay fit while playing volleyball? It's a very broad question. I've tried many diets. For me, the thing that works well is low carb, high fat diet. I've tried that extensively, and I know I'm not a dietitian, but that's how I felt. That's my experience with the food world. So yeah, I think do your research and try different things, and you'll see what works best for you. But that's my personal experience.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. I think early on in my career, I had a set mind on what everyone should be eating. But the more I play, the more people I talk to, dietitians, health experts. In my opinion, it's person by person by person. So what works for Nick might not necessarily work for me. So I would recommend doing your own research, experimenting. But if you're going to try like one diet versus another diet, just be diligent and do your research about it, and just make sure you're getting enough food in general, because volleyball, it's very calorie intensive, and so you just want to make sure that you're getting enough food of whatever you decide to be choosing. Which one do you think is more important, block or assist?
For you.
Good thing Ulash isn't here. Blocking is more important. 100% blocking is more important. Sorry, Ulash. But it's just a good way to shut down the opponent. Causing a little bit of frustration, even if you're not getting like a kill block, getting touches, allowing your defense to play the ball. So as a middle blocker, I'm going to say blocking.
I have to agree. Sorry, Will. I have to agree, just because you get so many assists or sets in a game. So the success rate is pretty high for a set, but a block can really, really change a game at important moments. Not saying a set can't, but most of the time the sets are going to be decent. But if you get 15 blocks in a game, there's a good chance you're going to win the game. So I think if you get a lot of blocks, or if you get no blocks but a lot of assists, then the game just goes on as normal. But if you get a lot of blocks, it might increase your success as a team. So yeah, sorry about that. Why volleyball? When I was young, I played many sports. I played hockey. Obviously, I'm from Canada. I played American football. I've played football. I played a lot of sports. The reason why I chose volleyball is because I was born in a volleyball family, and I've always enjoyed the sport. I was basically born with the ball in my hand, and that's always what I wanted to do. Honestly, when I was young, I didn't even study all that hard. I was just really focused on volleyball, and that was kind of my life goal. Kind of wish I studied when I was young, but that's my answer. Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I also played a lot of different sports, and then when I was in high school, I tried to make the baseball team. It didn't work out. Then I was like, okay, I'll try basketball. That didn't work out for me either. My parents sat me down. They said, you can either get a job or find a different sport to play. And so the obvious answer is find a different sport to play. So I joined the volleyball team. I ended up being it came to me naturally. And from then on, the more I played, the more I fell in love with the sport, the competition, the teamwork, mastering the skills. It's really technical, so just kind of mastering the skills. So that's kind of how I started playing volleyball. What is your favorite place in Turkey? I would say, I gotta say Izmir, because I've traveled to a couple different cities for volleyball. I haven't had a lot of time to travel to different kind of more touristic parts of Turkey, but I've been very happy in Izmir. I went to Alaçatı and Çeşme in August. That was really beautiful. but I'd like to have more opportunities to visit more places. Maybe at the end of the season, after we win the championship, I'll have some more time to visit.
Personally, I went to Alaçatı, I think 2-3 years ago, and that was kind of my spot in Turkey. I really, really enjoyed it. The culture, it was quiet at that time where I went. It was beautiful. It was clean. It was everything I wanted technically, and where I wanted to visit. So yeah, Alaçatı is very my number one spot so far. I haven't visited. I need to visit more like Dan.
Yeah, we got to get out more.
I know.
Got to talk to Glenn.
We need more time off. So yeah, that's kind of so far my spot. What is your favorite volleyball term? I've always loved the term joust. So that's when both players go to the net and kind of hold the ball together and they kind of push. I don't know why, but I've always liked that term. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've always connected with the word spatch. That's when you hit a ball, it's got no spin on it, and it goes all the way into the upper decks. We got a couple guys on our team who spatch a lot.
Never heard that before.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like the ball's like waffling and going like out of the gym.
And you hear everybody go, oh.
Yeah, that's a spatch. Why hasn't Daniel been wearing leggings that he used to wear on one leg in his last matches? I would wear my leggings more often if they didn't have so many holes in them. I've dove too many times, scuffed them up, and got holes, and they look less like leggings and more like stockings. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not wearing my leggings. What's your answer?
He's ashamed.
I'm ashamed.
He can't dive, so that's why they have so many holes.
Yeah.
How do you motivate yourself when you can't achieve the expected performance? Throughout my career, I've learned one thing is that I guess I can say that failure is my friend. The more I fail, I'd rather put my objectives higher and fail than lower and then succeed every time. Because I think you learn a lot more and you want to push more and you want to succeed. And no matter how far the goal is, you'll always try to reach that peak. And I think that's my number one thing, is that failure is your friend, and if you fail, that's just an opportunity to get better.
Those are all really good points. Also, changing your mindset to not only focusing on the outcome, but focusing more on the process. Becoming process-oriented, like enjoying the process of getting better versus putting all of your mental attention on just the outcome. You'll have a lot more success in the long term. Last question. Can you say some Turkish words? I got a couple Turkish words. Merhaba, merhaba beyler. Nasılsın? İyiyim. Sen nasılsın?
Filet, entraînement. Those are all, I speak French, so they're all French words, so I know a bunch of them. Entraîneur. What else?
Teşekkürler. Günaydın.
1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
5, 6, 7,
yes.
8,
9,
9,
10,
11.
Hey,
Nice.
That's a wrap.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you. Görüşürüz.
There you go.